Hail, and welcome to A Celtic World. We are a YouTube channel and podcast trying to shine a light on the worldwide Celtic support. On this show, we give a North American perspective on all things Celtic, but wherever you are, you're all part of a Celtic world. So this last week, we've been stuck in, the dreaded international break where, all Celtic talk usually grinds to a halt. And we all just hope that, the Celts on international duty come back healthy. But I guess over the weekend, the board decided to put out a statement that somehow they thought would kind of quash a lot of the anger in the Celtic support. It just made it worse. So we'll try to rehash that and then look forward to Kilmarnock on the weekend. But before we do that, we have some special guests with us tonight. They started a new CSC over the summer, and so we wanted to, give them a little publicity. First things first, though. Chris, how you doing? My partner in crime.
Hell. I'm all right.
Doing good. Things in Tennessee.
Making it decent.
Good. So then we have Gary and Sean from the Long Island CSC. Welcome, boys. How we doing tonight?
We're good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so you guys are trying to unmute. Sean, I think your mic is muted.
There we go. Sorry, my bad.
No worries.
How's it going, guys?
So you guys started the CSC over the summer, right? Wasn't it
during friendlies? Yeah, during the preseason friendlies.
Yeah.
We had a test run for the Newcastle match, and we've been running since with a pretty good crowd.
Mm-hmm. And you guys are in Ronkonkoma, right?
Ronkonkoma. So we're kind of the middle of Long Island. As the Long Island Railroad comes out, we are the last station on one of the lines and a quick 3-minute Uber ride from the train station. So
nice.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot. Flanagan's. It's they've been really good to us so far.
Nice.
They have, yeah.
What's your crowd size wise? Makeup, age, American.
A little bit of everything. Actually, we've had a little bit of everybody. We've been averaging better than a dozen. I think for 3 matches, we've had over 20, which is pretty cool. We have, I think Owen is probably the youngest member. I met a family at the bar a couple of years ago when Derek Warfield and the Young Wolftones played. And they brought the little kid on stage, and I was chatting with them. He just started high school this week. And then some people bring their kids, as we are a family-friendly club. So we have been averaging better than a dozen people, even for the 7 a.m. match.
Yeah.
It was nice to see people there. It wasn't great to watch and see the results, but, we'll take it going on. Yeah.
Because that's what I would say, especially the 7 a.m. ones, and Rangers games, you'll get the crowds in probably no matter what. But it's those 7:30 starts against St. Mirren and Kilmarnock and whatever. They're the tough ones where, even if you get especially a new club like you guys, where if you're getting a handful of guys, even if it's 3 or 4, but religious, they're there for those games all the time. That's how you. Even Philly is like that sometimes. The Plowboys is a pretty well-established club.
Fidel had there were times there was 3 of us.
Yeah, I think that's so. If you can do that in your first year, I think that's great success.
Yeah,
we've been working on this for 5 years, though. I was living in New Jersey for about 10 years, and when I moved back home during the pandemic, we had some friends. I had Jay Conboy, who does, Celtic boys and girls around the world and all. I had another beer guy put me in touch with Sean, and we've been working on it. We had a couple of informal meetings, but we couldn't find a bar that would open for us. We don't open till noon. Open at 10. Offer some breakfast. I promise you we will make you money. I want people that'll drink beer early and eat. I'll turn them into Celtic fans. So it's taken us about 5 years of work to get this together. So I think that's why we're seeing the response that we're seeing, because we've been talking about this for a long time, right, Sean?
Yeah, we have.
Building up to it.
We have.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy moving forward. And again, I promote it in the restaurant and bar groups. I want people that want to come and have a good time and spend money in the restaurant. And then when they see the fun that we're having, we'll convert them to football fans and Celtic supporters there.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Sean has his friends. You've had friends
definitely. I'm
all over
inviting
the
everybody
place.
and anybody, Even for the opening game, my friends in Newcastle
He showed up, yes.
Unheard of. Came around, watched the game, so we're obviously putting in the groundwork right now. It's off to a good start, which is promising,
Mm-hmm.
You got to start somewhere, so it's looking promising from the get-go.
Yeah. And we have just some Irish folks, some football fans. Sean brings a lot of the Irish contingent, being from Belfast himself. We have a couple of guys over that live here now from Scotland. So we have a nice mix of, me being, I have my famous shirt, 0% Irish, to Sean, who's only been here for about 9 or 10 years. So, we have a nice mix of everybody coming to support the boys and enjoy the club with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's Chris and I have had on a few guys. I mean, they're not brand new, but they're new Celtic supporters clubs. Like Detroit has been around this is their 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh celebrated their 5th anniversary.
Yes.
In February, they had a big, kind of took the place of the Fairley in Philly.
Yeah.
And we had it in Pittsburgh to celebrate them. And I know Sean in Detroit wants to do the same thing this year. So it's great to see new clubs popping up and doing well. And you see the numbers from Pittsburgh, every week their pictures are even on a nothing match, they got 30, 40 people. And
that's great.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing. So, and those guys, I feel are great resources too, because they're always willing, y'all, and you've probably seen it, in our group chat that we were starting off, once, Sean Finn was you guys need any help, let me know. They're always willing to help.
It's been great. And I spoke to a couple of the Pittsburgh boys out there for their anniversary party. They wanted some beer and it couldn't work, but hopefully this February it'll be a lot better. So, we're working on that. But yeah, they've been great. I've had a lot of contact with a lot of other people from the different clubs and whatnot, and everybody's been fantastic. So far.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's when you're participating in those events, at the Plow, the Fairley, and at Pitts. That's how me and Chris met. How at the time Chris was in Georgia.
Yeah.
But how else would a guy in Bucks County, PA, and now I've gone down to Athens, I've gone to Bell Buckle, Tennessee to hang out with Chris, and he's come up here and we've met in Cleveland and and that's what we always say. That's what it's about. The connection.
It's a great little community.
Good sense of community.
And even when we were speaking the other day, we've absolutely crossed paths in Philly.
Sure.
100%. So, because that was my home club for a while when I lived in South Jersey. So,
that's small world.
Yeah, good stuff.
So, how and we always ask this to our first time, people we have on. I guess Sean, to start with you. How did you get into Celtic? Other than Belfast.
Well, that's it. I was born and raised in Belfast. So growing up, my dad was a huge Celtic fan. So just following him, when I was younger, we used to go to quite a lot of games. We go to a lot of home games. Never really made it away games, but we'd also do the Champions League games quite a lot as well, which was great, Being from Belfast, it's a short trip across the water. So basically through him, that got me into following Celtic, and obviously being a kid, I was obsessed, It was everything Celtic. When I was a kid, it was Celtic room, so basically through my father is how I got into Celtic, and I've stuck with it ever since.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's we always have it, I feel each one of us who's been on has had at least a slightly different story. Sometimes you grow up with it, sometimes you find it, sometimes
It finds you.
It finds you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how about you, Gary?
So I have a little bit different of a way in than Sean, being the Jewish guy from Long Island. My first girlfriend ever in high school, her family was from Scotland, and they were huge Celtic supporters. And growing up playing a lot of soccer, when her family came over and I met her cousins, at the end of the trip, I gave them all my gear. Hey, bring this back, and thinking it was cool when it was pathetic. And they had given me their kits, and I just fell in love with the hoops right then and there. I was like, okay. And this was 1990, so it was kind of hard outside of some of the publications that I got to keep up with them. But it was just a love affair as soon as I fell in love with the hoops, and I remain close with the family to this day. And that girlfriend's older brother is in the club, Big Kevin. I'm still friends with him. Yep. He was the first guy that I would go into the city with to back when it was the parlor and all. So, that first love turned into a lifelong love.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
Not same to me. I mean, yeah. What, Chris? You can rehash yours because I think we probably talked about it on the first story, first episode.
Yeah. Well, so mine was that I was really big into my genealogy, and my mom's side's from Scotland, my dad's side's from Ireland. But they've been in the U.S. They actually came through Philadelphia, which is the interesting part of it, right? So that's my connection to Philly, is that's where my family had immigrated to, my Irish family. So, like when you go to the famine memorial that's in Philadelphia, like I have that moment where I'm like, wow, this is the connection, right? So I don't know exactly how it really kind of happened. I always tell people that Celtic found me because it's combining that history of knowing that's where your family came from and this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden you're arm in arm with a sport, which I played when I was little, but it's never been like a common thing in Tennessee or Georgia for football / soccer to be the thing that kids do. I mean, it's probably more prevalent now than it used to be, but it was just one of those things where like everything kind of aligned, and then before I know it, I'm with Sean, and I'm with Sean Finn and all these people from Belfast, and I've been over, and Sean and I had a buddy, Giuseppe Joe, who recently passed, that was from Belfast, and we talked to him all the time on Twitter. And this has been 15, 20 years that we've been communicating and following Celtic, and it's just Celtic for me is much more than the actual 11-on-11 a football match. It's seeing people and knowing that they share your same ethos. That's kind of how I got into it, I guess. It's the shortened version.
Absolutely. And that's beautiful. I mean, I've met people, like being so close to Manhattan when I would go in, I've met plenty of people that have come over and have remained friends with them, which it's just kind of, and I love the ethos of it, a club for everyone, because I often, it's like people joke all the time. It's like, how does a Jewish kid from New York get into this and, know the history and understand and a lot more than just the 11-11 out there, which is, it has been a godsend. It's been something super cool for somebody that doesn't grew up adopted in family. And this has been a big thing for me, to be accepted into this big world and all. And my biological sister did her 23andMe, and she calls me up. She's like, we're 8% Irish. And I was like, well, that's cool. I only have to put a little slash across my 0% Irish shirt. She goes, that's a beautiful Jewish sentiment that you don't have to buy a new one. You can just do it. But, it's fantastic of what the whole club means to so many people. And, getting to hear Sean about growing up in it. And I've just only heard of, the Falls Road and the history and all of that, is just fascinating to me to sit and keep him for 3 hours after a match, just pestering him with questions.
Love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So where do you see, like, what's your kind of hope for how the club your club grows on Long Island?
I'd love to. I mean, obviously, I want to grow it exponentially. The hardest part for us was finding, like we were talking about earlier, finding a bar that would open up earlier for us. And I just want people that want to come in and have a good time, and we'll teach and whatever. But it's interesting because Long Island is rich in Irish history. You know, a lot of people know, like mid-19th century, everybody in Manhattan and Brooklyn and the Bronx, which is, you know, Little Ireland now up there. And, you know, but Long Island is actually in the top 10 most Irish populated places in the country. We're rich in Irish history, where when everybody came, it wasn't just firemen and cops that everybody became in the city. There were a lot of farmhands and really building the infrastructure of New York and Long Island out here. So we're rich in the history, and I just want to see this grow more. And coming from a background of social work and education, I can't wait to start being able to do a lot of the charitable work. You know, I know there was a lot of stuff I saw, and I didn't read too much, and I'm not going to touch it on things going on with the Cano. But, you know, for the Celtic Foundation and everything, this is something that I can't wait to, you know, start getting into. Showing up to somebody's kid's football match with maybe not flares, but confetti guns or something to cheer on like 12-year-olds, to get into some of that, to really raise a lot of awareness of what this club is about here on Long Island, because we have such a rich Irish, Scottish history here. So that's really what I want to see. And I want to drink beer at 7 a.m. That, you know, I mean, that too, man. I mean, and I think you're kind of right about the same, Sean, right? Like, are we able to get you a feel of home at all, or?
Well, let's say, you know, like I said, we've got the foundations there. You know, it's something that we can definitely build on. In terms of like where you want it to go is, you know, numbers. You know, a sense of community. You know, making friends, making connections, and you know, just having somewhere you can call a home as such. You know, it's definitely got a lot of potential. I can see it growing. You know, especially, you know, soccer's getting a lot bigger here. You know, I've been here for almost 10 years. And when I got here, you know, there wasn't much talk of football, too much talk of soccer. Nowadays, you know, you're seeing the kids kicking soccer balls. You know, you're seeing guys wearing jerseys. You know, and I think with the World Cup being held here coming up, it'll put a lot of exposure on football as well. You know, people are going to be looking at teams. They want to get involved. And I think that it'll definitely help us as well in terms of getting numbers and putting the word out there, you know. So it's definitely a lot of positives.
Absolutely. Like being 50, I grew up on the tail end of the Cosmos, which was a big deal in world football, you know, at the time. I mean, it was a big deal. And then it wasn't. It went away. Although Long Island was a hotbed of kids playing, you know, soccer, I really have to thank the women's national team for bringing a lot of attention. You have to. They're much better than our men have ever done. For better or for worse, they have brought a lot of attention to the sport in this country, and especially New York, New Jersey, this tri-state area. And again, Jersey with the mother club over in Kearney, that's a huge hub of soccer in this country. I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, it could only help us. As all the clubs in the country, just as the sport, I think we'll see a bit of a resurgence. If we could get the guys to do anything, well, that would be cool. But
well, that's kind of I mean, World Cup is like going back to kind of my start in Celtic was I kind of discovered them watching Ireland in the 2002 World Cup so early morning, you know, I think it was like 7 a.m. kickoffs at the Anglesey pub down in Wildwood, New Jersey. I don't know if you've ever been. And it used to be more a you know, full on CSC. Now I think they're trying to get it back.
Yes.
But they had like all, you know, and I always said like they had, you know, the hoops jerseys on the wall, pictures of, you know, all the old player, like the Lisbon Lions. And you see that stuff and you might not know about it at the time, but it kind of, and you're there to watch Ireland with some of your Irish friends, and then you go home and like, oh, what's this Celtic thing about? And then, then it becomes a researching it, and it's a, like you said, it's a love that like grew over time. But then now I'm like, it took a little while till I became like that diehard, like
probably fully invested.
Yeah, 6-7 years. But then once 2012 and 2010, 2012 in that range, like I was all hooked in. And
well, Philly was huge. Philly was huge. I think we went fairly well in that World Cup around there. So I mean, there was a lot going on in that time, and that was also the Real Madrid year. Right in Philly, that was 2012, and I think it was either 11 or 12 that Celtic came over to play the Union. When a couple of those guys got arrested.
Yep.
I was there. I was right. I was three feet away from those flares.
So was I. So I was probably standing right next to you.
Exactly. I was like 3 rows behind him and 2 people over. I was like,
oh, that's funny. I have a picture. You probably were standing right next to me.
I'm sure I can find one too, man. I told you we crossed paths.
I know, because my sister came with me to the game, and we got kind of separated during the game, and she's like, "You're not in that mess, are you?" And then I sent her a picture on my phone. Yep, I'm right there.
Right in the middle of it.
Yeah. I went with my girlfriend at the time, and I hadn't known the clubs yet. So I just bought tickets. And she's like, well, what, where do we get in? I'm like, don't worry about it. We're going to walk in and we're going to go, and it's fine. It's going to be fine. We'll know where to go when we get there. So it was, so that was the first time I ever got to see him live and all too. So it was quite the experience.
Sure.
Yeah, that made me being a Philly guy myself. So I think that was like one of the was that the Union's first season? It might have been even, I don't know, or one of them.
Early on.
I became kind of anti-Philadelphia Union because they were we walked underneath the whatever they call it, the river end section, and just getting screamed at by all the, I'm like you're fraud fans, they're I love my team. This is your third game. How can you be a diehard?
well, they had the Sons of Ben before they had a team.
Yeah,
before they had a team, they had a supporter club. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how that. And I'm not bad mouthing any of them because, but God bless them. They formed a team around the supporter club.
The supporters club.
Okay. Very
interesting. Way of doing it.
There's our boy Paul from Chicago.
Oh, yep, Chicago. Very nice, man. Yeah, Philly can keep stealing Millwall chants. No one likes them.
But yeah, one of my neighbors was that. I don't know if he still does it. And I think Chris, Kyle. Kyle Branson. He was in the Sons of Ben, and he's kind of a bit of a Celtic fan too. So it's weird that one of my neighbors is a Celtic fan, for a small town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Dublin, PA, CSC.
Yeah. He's been over in my basement a couple times watching.
There you go.
Some nice, Glasgow darts.
It's an underground club.
It is very underground.
I really think that's what I tell people is that the Bell Buckle, Tennessee CSC is an underground club. It's like a country club for Celtic supporters that like to, because it's 7 a.m. kickoffs for y'all. Is the 6 a.m. kickoff for me.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, there's some 4 a.m.s and whatnot that people wake up on the other side. I'm like, God bless your heart, man. That's but I mean, that's kind of why we wanted to start our own, because for a 7 a.m. to get into the city, and again, fantastic clubs both of them. They have two very different feels. The Fenian boys that are now over at Ernie O'Malley's, and the guys over at McHale's in Manhattan CSC. But we're $100 in. And 2 hours before, it's a tough Sunday, again, absolutely. I loved going and the Bucky showers and having a great time and whatnot. And getting home at 3:00 in the afternoon, feeling like it's 3:00 in the morning, but that's a day, man. That's a big day. So if we can wake up a half hour, an hour before match time and Uber on over so we don't have to worry about anything, that's just a world of difference, and $100 in your pocket in this day and age, it's a big deal. A $20 Uber versus $100 round trip, for a pair of people on the train is it's a big deal, you know. So
Yeah,
Well,
it's definitely nicer having it closer to home for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, I'm going to be home in 3 minutes, and I don't have to wait. And if I miss that train, you know, I'm going to have to wait another hour and a half because it's Sunday. You know, just eat Rose's Pizza in Penn Station. Oh.
Well, that's me. I'm like in kind of northern Bucks County.
I know Bucks, yeah.
So to get down to Center City, Philly, or Old City for the plow is at least an hour. Like hour if I'm leaving at 5:30 in the morning to get down there. Like you're not going to hit any traffic.
Yeah,
it's still going to take me an hour, and that's why I did start going up to New York to Feeney Boys, because it would be like an hour and a half, and I would like then make it more of just make it a day in New York too, and so that kind of became my thing rather than going down to Philly.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I got in with those guys.
Yeah. When I was in South Jersey, I lived in Camden, which I don't like to say out loud much, but I was 2 blocks away from the train, and that lets you out right in front of Fido. So I was like,
okay.
I started the onesie club. Like I showed up for the first match of that season, and I'm like, guys, I'm getting a onesie. I showed up in the hooded onesie, first match of the season, and they're like, "Are you kidding me?" They all bought them, and then we got on like Celtic TV halftime. They're like, and like we would tweet out, I'm like, "Well, Philly's doing the like a onesie match," and you know, because I knew Tom and Sherry already from the beer world, and Jim Jr. and whatnot, and they all bought onesies. So I was like, "Well, this is my claim to fame now for my." You know, I'm the Celtic onesie guy, and now I'm the Celtic beer guy. So it's we keep trying.
All right. Well, that's a good transition. So you have the Gary, the Synergy Brew project.
Synergy Brew project. Yes. Yes.
And I've actually, and I think I sent it to Chris years ago. Like I, saw a picture of the can of your the Boys Champions Lager.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, like, how do I get that? Like,
that's the Boys Champions Lager, and this is the Boys Stout.
Yeah. So I could stick it up on the screen. I have that.
Oh, yep, there you go. Look at that. Hey.
So I saw that years ago, and I was like, ooh, how do I get my hands on this?
Yeah.
And then over the summer, saw it more when you guys brought it to DC.
Yeah. I think
was awesome.
Sean. Yeah, I think Sean is kind of responsible for the first pictures getting out there. I think you shared it to some friends, and then I got 3 weeks of nonstop messages from around the world. Where do I get this? I'm like, 4 stores on Long Island. Where are you? Croatia. I'm like,
put a couple of
sorry, buddy, you gotta wait a little bit.
Put a couple of snaps on the Instagram, a couple of snaps on the Facebook, and the guys back home were messaging me flat out, like, how can I get this? Can you ship it? Can you get me it? You know, so definitely putting it out there. And it's a great beer, you know, great design, great logo, great beer, though. Great beer.
Well, yeah, hey, again, we'll just say the labels are borrowed heavily from things right now that I'm still small. Because somebody had chimed in and shot a question, like, what bar was mine? Like, I don't have a bar. I own a brewery, and I wanted to make the Celtic beers. So yeah, Sean had put that out there, and I was like, oh my goodness. And when it came down to DC time, I was talking to Eddie. I was trying to get distribution, and I was like, you know what? You're doing this rooftop party. I'm going to bring down 30 cases. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm just going to be a guy at a hotel party with a cooler of beer, except it's just going to be a bigger cooler. And I gave away 30 cases of beer in about 40 minutes. And like Sean, that was your bachelor party weekend.
It was, yeah.
That was his bachelor party weekend. He went down. And what did you do on your honeymoon in the pool? He's asking me for our login. And I'm like, aren't you on your honeymoon? He's like, wait, what's the supporter club login? They don't have the match on at the pool bar.
So I'm sitting at the pool bar watching the Celtic game on my honeymoon.
Which is tremendous. But yeah, you know, I mean, I just wanted to do something that could be cool for me. You know, the first time I'm ever my own boss, I'm like, I'm going to do this because I want to do it. Both beers are 4.3% for the quad treble. You know, little details like that you know, I like to put in there. I created the little penguin. Well, I didn't. One of my tattoo artists created Penguin O'Hooligan. It's my little mascot. And the lager is my only year-round beer. Yep, that lager is my only year-round beer. The stout was an oatmeal stout. We're going to be making it a nitro stout, and that'll be available in November. And I'm working on distribution. So anybody in the United States with a CSC, please message me. I'm working on distribution desperately. I should have by the end of the year, New Jersey for Angelisa and the Mother Club up in Kearney. And for February, by hook or by crook, there will be plenty of it flowing freely at the plow for the weekend in February. So, yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, it'll be good. It'll be good. Boys, really great.
So how many years have you been like doing the brewing thing? Do you just start out like home brewing and then build into that?
I've been in the beer business for about 20 years now.
Okay.
I worked for a local brewery here on Long Island. Then I became their sales guy. And I was in New Jersey for about 10 years. In March of 2020, my mother had gotten sick, so I moved back home. And I needed to be my parents' caregiver. So I needed flexible hours. And I said, I've been making a lot of people a lot of money selling their beer for 20 years. It's about time that I make myself a whole little bit of money. And that's what I do. I make myself a whole little bit of money now. But you know what? I'm super happy getting to do whatever I want, and I'll work on Chicago. I promise, Paul. So I'm just happy that I get to do whatever I want. And if I start work at 10, I start work at 10. If I start work at 7 in the morning, I start work at 7 in the morning, and I get to do this. And hopefully my main goal for these beers is to get it to the CSCs around the country. And then I could just go and visit. I've been to about 20 or so different clubs up and down the East Coast. I'd love to get to all of them one day, just hop in a van and write it off as again. I was raised Jewish. It's all work, I get to go visit all the clubs spend the season visiting all the clubs, and sampling the beers and all. So it's been fun, and the response has been fantastic. Sean, you loved it. He's like, hey, I need a couple for my wedding. I was like, yeah, what do you need? He's like, 10. I was like, all right, man, I'll give you 10 cases. He's like, no, I need like 10 or 12 cans. I'm like, shut up, dude. No, whatever, dude. Take it. He's like, what do I owe? Shut up, man. It's for your wedding. You're going to take it, man. That's why he's our VP now. And, it's been a long time in the making. So it's it's cool to see it all coming together.
It is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. The Manhattan clubs are behind it. They sell in both the Manhattan clubs, and now our club sells it. And my beer store is basically right across the street from the bar that we were at, Flanagan's over there in Ronkonkoma. So,
all right,
cool. And in Manhattan, they sell as much during the match as they do to go, because I especially in Manhattan, people are visiting. I'm like, all right, maybe they'll have one, but it's a Guinness and a Magners morning. Right. It is. So to grab a 4-pack to take back home, I don't care where it goes when somebody buys it. I just want to sell you more. Yeah. Great. Enjoy it with friends back home. Try one, take it home and whatnot. So, hopefully we're getting it more and more out there to more clubs. Because awesome. Sean will tell you it's awesome beer. Right, Sean?
Sure is. Got my vote.
All right. So let me play a quick just subscribe clip, and then we'll move on to goings on at Celtic.
All right.
Hang on one second.
How's it, Brew? Loving a Celtic world. It's fantastic. Definitely worth a subscribe, hey.
There you go. Gavin changing it up on us again. So like I said in the introduction, international breaks are usually boring. Nothing really happens. We all just sit kind of waiting. I don't watch much football outside of Celtic these days, and definitely don't watch any international games. But I do hope that the Celtic players come home healthy. That's kind of my only wish each time.
Yeah.
And we've our last few weeks, I know, me and Chris, it's been. We had James on last week with Sean Finn from Pittsburgh, and we got into Celtic a little bit over, and mainly the board, Brendan a little bit tactically. Like James is very like he's good on the tactics and stat part of the game. But the board was definitely our main focus. And then to have, and we just, they don't usually communicate to the fans. And then to put out that statement on Saturday night, I think it was Saturday night in UK. Yeah, like late afternoon for us. But I don't know. Chris, what did you get a chance to check it out?
I mean, yeah. I was talking to somebody from Scotland today, and he had a couple of tops or whatever, that new Celtic tops from the season or whatever, and I was like, I messaged him and I said, that money didn't go to Uncle Peter, did it? And he's like, absolutely not one red cent. And and we were just kind of going back and forth, and it's the things that we've been talking about, or that I've been talking about with several people for a long time, that the board just doesn't care. The board doesn't care. We're customers.
Yeah.
And the fact that those things have derailed again just only further emphasizes that the board doesn't care. And there's such a disconnect between what statement comes out, like it falls on deaf ears. Same thing with the ticketing rights for UEFA being posted today. They're like, oh well, hey, here's the prices of the Europa League matches. Okay, great, but I can't financially stabilize myself enough to buy these tickets. That's the response that we're giving back to Celtic after their statement on Saturday. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's shocking, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, these are the same issues that we've been through several times now, where we either don't qualify, we don't spend enough, or, it doesn't, they don't care. They don't care. And they need to be held responsible. And I'm going to mute my train here.
It's all good. Sean,
it's definitely a lot of it's a lack of preparation, you know what I mean? And like you said, they don't care, a lack of ambition. I feel like the board are happy as long as we're a bit head and shoulders above Rangers, and they're happy with that. As long as we're getting league titles, they're happy with that. But as a collective, I've seen a lot of kind of like podcasts online and people writing in different blogs or whatnot, and as a collective, I think we deserve better as a club. It's tough, obviously, being in the Scottish League, but the gamble with the kind of money to not qualify to the Champions League is absolutely crazy. The squad needed players. Colin McGregor came out and said that we needed players, and the board just shut us down. It's to be scrambling on transfer deadline day in the free market it's crazy. There definitely needs to be investment. There needs to be changes for sure. It's been going on for way too long. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. This is probably the worst transfer session that I've seen in years. It's shambles. Things need to be changed for sure. Yeah. Something has to be done about it.
Yeah, and then I feel like the statement was a lot of words that really didn't say much of anything.
Yeah.
But that even like talking about just strengthening the squad before your qualifiers, and they actually pointed out, like, we don't wait till see if we're in the Champions League before we decide to invest. Like, our goal is to get everybody in early so that they get bedded into the squad, and like that. I mean, that's
not the case.
That's a little lie. It's never happened. I can't think of any year where that's happened. And we've talked about, like, a lot of times we're, trying to get through a qualifier with guys like, nothing against, like, I think Dane Murray has been fine, but just guys along those lines who are Celtic youth players, not front level starters. Like we had one where I remember Owen O'Connell, like, and he ended up, I think those were like the only games he played was Champions League qualifiers where we ended up getting knocked out. And like, we're always, I feel like, in that position, like where we're not full strength when we need to be.
Yeah.
Gary, did you read it?
Yeah. I think some of the complacency has set in, especially since they died. That it's been a walk for a decade or better. And I think with the money coming in from just some European nights, they're happy with that. And they buy into a little bit of, it's a Scotland team, our coefficient, we have to play 900 extra matches. We'll take this money and then we'll play Europa and we'll still walk the league. To me, sitting here on Long Island, New York, that's always my number one concern. Also from my heart and my little thing, I just want to win week in, week out, 6-0. Do I want to see more ambition? I would love to. But I think they kind of bought into a little bit of this. This is, we don't have oil baron money. We don't have TV rights to get that. So we are where we are, and they're going to get theirs. And again, we're kind of here in this country looking at similar things politically. I'm not going to say what side anything, and I don't want to open that can of worms, but we're kind of in that same boat of what's good enough, and we're going to eat ours, and we'll keep you just happy enough. It's tough, and it's been hard to see. I try to stay off all the during any transfer window. I try to stay off any of the Celtic pages because I just can't get my hopes up and and we're associated with everybody. Like, I'm pretty sure 3 weeks ago I saw that we were this close to signing Maradona. Come on, there's only so much of that I personally could read. Would I love to see this? And we really, I think we're the team that could absolutely step up and really help Scottish football and become a major, major player around the world. But if that's not their plans, that's not their plans,
I feel like we had that opportunity, though. Like, last season, we ended pretty strongly. And, going into this season, had high hopes, we kind of set a level last year. I know we did lose, like, Kern, Jago was gone. But going into the season, I was very optimistic about Celtic. I thought they were going to put their foot down, sign a couple of players, build on what we had, and
back Brendan this time.
There. But, back Brendan, we give him a good run in Europe, give us something to, cheer about in Europe. But no, it just seems like we took 2 steps forward and 5 back, Sitting where we're sitting right now, I would never have guessed where we're at. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
I 100% feel the same way. I felt that same.
How do we sit, though, when we all understand that we have those standout players, the O'Reillys, the Edwards, the Dembeles? They're not going to stay as long as Henrik did, So to kind of play devil's advocate, how would I sit there knowing that this guy, this newest Hunskelper, like, who was it? It was like Dembele, like, hat trick in his opening game against them or something, right? And then Edward would just beat up on him for fun. Like, we're going to lose them. Oh, that's little Owen. We were talking about little Owen before. That's that little high school guy. What's up, buddy? To sit there and understand that and to rely 100% on scouting, which we need to so desperately. And it came out that Dazen wanted away at the end of last season. That breaks my heart every time I, read something like that, because we want them to be invested the way we would be. So, like, I just don't know where that happy middle is to understand that we're a feeder club. If
I
we
get
want,
that.
And we're
feeder
going to lose
club,
them.
I completely get that. But if we're going to feed and make the money should be reinvested to a certain level. There's no point in selling players for 15 million, 10 million, and then buying a player for 2. We should be aiming a little higher, raise the bar a little bit, go with the rhythm. It just seems like we're just penny pinching. It's like the money's there to be spent. We're not asking to go for 50 million players. $50 million. Just raise the bar a little bit, push it out a little bit. Grow as a club. I just feel like we're just set on a one flat line, and we're just not climbing any higher. And with that, we're going to fall behind. You know, losing this Champions League money, we're going to fall behind. There's so many risks that have been taken, and it hasn't worked out in our favor.
Agree.
Yeah, you're right.
I think a lot of it could be quelled if the board or whoever could actually communicate all of that to the supporters and say, look, this is actually where we're at. This is what our intent is, and this is what we plan on doing about it. And the fact that they can't answer those questions, and then they put out a bullshit statement on a Saturday night at 9 p.m. No, that's not a professional answer. That's trying to stop the tide from turning against you. That's all you're doing. You're a hot dog down a hallway. That's all you're doing, and it's not going to help. You know, because even like Paul was saying just a minute ago, that the fan meeting that they had today went fairly well, and and like he said, that fans organizing like they are now, like I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be a lot more that gets settled at the end of this, however ugly it's going to be. But you have to go through it, and you have to put their feet to the fire and say, tell me why we didn't reinvest in the club, right? So, like, we let Kyogo go and Kuhn go, and neither one of those players was replaced.
No.
Neither one of them. And so people want to know why it wasn't reinvested. And the only statement that they get is some, you know, oh, well, we don't want to run afoul of the UEFA rules or whatever. And that's complete bullshit. That's complete bullshit. The Celtic have made money every year for like the last 5 years. We've been in the red. Like we have made profit. So why isn't that reinvested? And if it's not reinvested, why haven't the board come out and like they need to tell us
explain it? Yeah, some transparency.
That's all people are really asking for, is just the transparency to say, look, we don't understand why you're doing these things, and all we want is the answers. And if you can't do that, then you need to be gone. And it's a vote of no confidence. And anyway.
Well, I mean, they did actually spend some money last year on spending money on Engels and like Ida and even Bernardo, like, was £6 million player, I think, like around that figure. So to go from that, and you were in a position of strength, and you end up selling, like, you know, getting rid of Kyogo and Kuhn, like, it was perfect time to just build on your strength and like take. And it goes back to, I think, Sean's point of the goal of the board is just to stay a little bit above Rangers and not too far. Don't want to get too far, because then. But yeah, so I don't, and to go from where we were, like neck and neck against Munich, to knocked out by Kairat, and
that was
not putting a strong enough team out there to. I mean, I feel like they should have been able to get the job done against them. That's another point. It should have been easy because they should have invested in the squad, and it should have been an easy tie to get into the Champions League stage or whatever it is now. So it just makes it all the more frustrating. Like, but at the same time, and I think like Paul mentioned in that one about the fan meeting today, like, have you ever seen the Celtic fan base as like uniform on a topic? Like, a lot of times there'll be a mix of like that, you know, they say the happy clapper, like, oh, like, we've won 13 out of 14 leagues, so like, why are you complaining? But I do, like, I feel like at this moment in time, like, the Celtic support is
sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think
almost 100% unified in like the, you know, no confidence in the board, and I don't know. So I think, Chris, you said like something will be done probably not till the end of the season. But
Yeah, I mean,
there's got to be a change up in the way things are done.
There just has to be accountability. That's all anybody's asking for is the accountability. And I know for me personally, I just want to know where we're going as a club. If the intent is there that we want to be a Champions League year in, year out, you're gonna have to make those changes and reinvest in the squad. Like, there's no way you can't do it. And then you're talking about what Brendan Rodgers is going to do. If I was Brendan Rodgers, I wouldn't want to be at Celtic after my contract's up with.
Yeah, I think he's gone at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't imagine him staying. His hands are tied.
He might not make it through the season.
But
he's done it before.
Well, didn't he promise he
the end of last season?
He re-upped his promise like a week or so ago. He's like, no, I'm going to see this one through because he knows what we're all thinking. We're all waiting for him to walk again, but there's always Ronnie or Neil Lennon that could come back again. Stop it! Like you didn't miss the Ronnie roar.
So Joseph on this comment, he was asking if Celtic World is signed on to the Green Brigade letter, and I think we are. I think it was up to like 420 signatories onto that the North Curve statement. Celtic World is on that one, I know. So, and it's probably adding more and more daily who are want to be attached to that statement that the Green Brigade is putting out. So, I think
absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah, I believe it's the Green Brigade's birthday today. 20 years.
That's right.
I think I heard that today.
Wait, that's today,
I think I heard that today.
And a God bless Jock today too, right? It's all today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's a big day in Celtic history then.
Yeah. All right, so then looking ahead to this weekend, I guess. So we go, Kilmarnock away on Sunday. I think it's 10 a.m. for us.
10 a.m.
I think. Yeah,
10
9
a.m.
9 a.m. for Chris. Rugby Park is never a fun place to play.
No.
Probably have like Carter Vickers will probably sit out just because he doesn't want to play on the turf. So you might see Dane Murray from the start.
I can see Poozy get a run out though.
Yeah, I mean, especially because he's at the time he wasn't on the Europa League side, so I feel like he's gonna have to start playing soon. Manchester City did not send him over here to sit, so that's I don't know. I feel like that would ruin future opportunities to get players on loan from them. But how do you see the lineup on Sunday, Chris? Do you think we'll see new guys?
No, I mean, I think maybe the only ad that you would see from whatever would be either Johnny Kinney up top, maybe. They might try some different tactical stuff. Who's to say? But I don't expect the squad to be that different. But I don't know. I'm expecting like a 2-1 squeaker, if I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to get a win.
How do you see?
We don't get a win. It's
What do you think, Sean? Lineup wise, do you see Iheanacho or Balikwisha?
I'd like to see him get a run out. I don't know, is he fit though? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of videos of him at training. He looked pretty sharp, but is he going to be able to run for 90 minutes? Is what you got to think. But I would like to see him get a run out. In terms of I wouldn't mix too much with the squad. You know what I mean? I would go with a solid 11 that we usually go with. Probably give the new guys a bit of a run out and just go with it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd like to see at least one of the new guys on the wing because I want to move Nygren back inside because I don't think he's a winger.
No, it's more central, I would say.
So whichever one, whether it's and it might be just who's more fit at this point. Balikwisha actually played against the Huns, so he might be a little more ready to jump in to the action. But Dyson was on international duty. He was playing last night in Columbus. So, I mean, that might set. But I mean, I don't think he ever gets tired. So, I don't know if that would affect him. But
yeah. I think we'll see a couple of new boys later in the match. I think we'll see them a little bit into second half, whether we're ahead comfortably or we're trying to squeak out a 2-1. I think fresh legs in that, I think, is the time to see that. So I expect to see some of those names on the bench, I would imagine. That's what I'm imagining, I'd love to see anybody score a hat trick. It's a great comment there, But again, me, the 3 points are the most important thing, and but I think we'll see a couple of those new boys come out because we do have Europa 2 weeks, right? 2 Wednesdays from now. So, he's not even on the squad. So, all right. Anyway, I've had one too many of these and getting confused. I'm confusing myself.
It's all good. So prediction score-wise, I'm going to go with 2-0 to Celtic, I think. Defensively, we've been pretty solid. I mean,
yeah, they were pretty solid about it.
Even in I mean, we're not scoring goals, but we're not giving anything up lately. So, Chris, what do you think?
I still think it'll be a 2-1 squeeze.
Oh, you said that before. Yeah. Gary, prediction.
I'll go 3-1.
3-1. All right.
3-1 to the good.
I'll do that. How about you, Sean?
I'm just going for the 1-0. I don't think it's going to be that exciting. I'm going for the 1-0 as long as we get the back.
Yeah, I can see that too.
So we're going to be bored to tears again for watching.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can take that again.
Yeah, that was
only get better,
Owen's going with a 2-0 too. He's
2-0. All right, there we go. We'll see what's up. That's good stuff, man. Yeah. Well, if you guys want to do a little contest or something like that, I'll throw a little 4-pack if somebody gets it right, and I'll send it out. At any time you want to throw out some kind of something, you let me know, and you give me a winner's thing.
Oh, we're gonna have prizes now.
Gift. Yep. See what? Hey,
cool.
I'm not just a Jewish guy. I'm a selling whore. It's all good.
Yeah. I'll throw your Synergy Brew product.
There you go. Thank you, man.
There you go.
Nice.
But again, also heavily borrowed. Something else. But yeah, man. Yeah, 3 points is what matters, and it's at. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I think I don't know if I mentioned which one I mentioned it to. My wife is from Merrick,
yes.
Long Island. So
I am up. Far from here.
I'm up there a couple times a year. So I told her, unfortunately, it's further out on the island. So.
Yes, it is.
But I told her, I'm like, if it ever works out, like time-wise, like we might ride out to Ronkonkoma. And she, I think her aunt lives in Ronkonkoma, so I've been out there before. So,
Auntie is your new favorite person.
Yeah, so I'll throw you guys' logo. You guys have a very well-designed logo. I like.
Thank you. That's our boy Phil.
Credit to Phil.
Yeah, that's my brother Phil that designed my Synergy logo, designed both the Celtic cans, and he's designed this. So nice, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're open to anybody swinging by. We're gonna take some family trips into the city, because it's just a different world than we have at McHale's, and a completely different world now at Ernie O'Malley's. That's just quite the experience to see a match with the Fenian boys. So we're gonna take some family trips out there. And everybody's always welcome. Like I said, I'll be out there for the that's funny.
The feeling.
Yeah. Well, I'll be out for the Europa League match. I'm headed into the city. So Sean, you should take a day off of work and come in with me.
I'll see what I can do,
Yeah, you're married man now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it was good having you boys on.
Thank you for having us, man. It was awesome to be here.
Yeah, we'll try and catch up later on in the season. Maybe we're doing this weekly, like Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. So I think what do we have next week? We have Drew from Knoxville and Dr. J from Myrtle Beach on with the Ball Deep CSC.
Very awesome, man.
And then we got to figure out from there. Our scheduling team has to get working.
Hey, this is fantastic, and I think again, just like what Sean was talking about, just to kind of see the rising of all of it here in the States. It's just fantastic, and maybe you guys are going to be our Ryan Reynolds. Who knows? We'll see.
I can guarantee you.
Yeah. Hey, but it's a little bit of fun, and it's awesome in spreading the word. So you guys are doing great work. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, we love having you on. I talked about it from the second I saw you guys started the club up. I'm like, yeah, we definitely got to get these guys on.
Hell yeah.
I think it's always good to talk about like the new clubs and hear the story of how it started. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. So hail, we'll talk to you guys soon. I think tomorrow morning there's going to be Gavin and the crew. They got a show. It'll be 6 a.m. our time, so 5 a.m. for you, Chris. You're not going to be up for that.
I'll miss that too.
So try to catch them if you can, and we'll see you guys next week, 8 p.m. or actually 7. We're moving up to 7 p.m. next week, right, Chris?
Oh, right, yeah.
Because our man Drew from Knoxville does a Tennessee Volunteer podcast later at night. So
is this my opportunity to go dog?
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
all right.
check our live.
All right. Hell, boys. Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon.
Have a good one now.
Take it easy.